We got to get excited for these FFA degree recipients.
I'm telling you what, Willie, I don't think this crowd is awake, but I think we're going to let it slide this morning because I don't think I'm awake either. But hey, let's tell them what we've got coming up here in Session 6.
So we're going to start off Session 6 with our days of service, and then we're going to go into our alumni section of State Convention. We're going to allow our alumni committee to come out here and talk, our alumni council, and brief y'all on what's going on with Georgia FFA alumni.
That's right, and I think the state officers are even going to get their alumni blazers, which is a really exciting moment for them. Then we're going to get to see all of our state degree recipients that are sitting right over here that have put in a lot of hard work, that are going to get their state degrees this morning. We've got 762 of them. So let's give a round of applause to our state degree recipients. Yeah, they're awesome. I'm telling you what. We're also going to hear a retiring address from one of our South Region Vice Presidents, Miss Emily Leonard. So if you're excited for that, let me hear you say, oh yeah.
And if you're excited for the last day of convention, let me hear you get as loud as you can get.
I'm telling you what, Willie, this is a good-looking crowd here in Macon this morning. So ladies and gentlemen, before we get started with our session, let's give it up for some more Georgia FFA talent.
Two black Cadillacs driving in a slow parade. Headlights shining bright in the middle of the day. One is for his wife, the other one is for the woman that night. Two black Cadillacs driving in a slow parade. And the preacher said he was a good man, and his brother said he was a good friend. But the women in the two black veils, they didn't bother to cry. Yeah, they took turns laying a rose down, threw a handful of dirt into the deep ground. He's not the only one who had a secret to hide. His wife called the number on his phone. Turns out he been lying both of them for oh so long. They decided then he'd never get away with doing this to them. Two black Cadillacs driving in a slow parade. And the preacher said he was a good man, and his brother said he was a good friend. But the women in the two black veils, they didn't bother to cry. Bye-bye, bye-bye, yeah, they took turns laying a rose down, threw a handful of dirt into the deep ground. He's not the only one who had a secret to hide. There was the first time and last time they saw each other face to face. They shared a crimson smile and just walked away and left the secret at the grave. And the preacher said he was a good man, and his brother said he was a good friend. But the women in the two black veils, they didn't bother to cry. Bye-bye, bye-bye, yeah, they took turns laying a rose down, threw a handful of dirt into the deep ground. He's not the only one who had a secret to hide. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.
everything that the FFA has taught me, every experience I've had, every great memory ingrained in my mind. All of these have brought me to where I am now, have gotten me ready for what lies through the door to the next chapter of my life. The FFA was my foundation. Georgia Young Farmers and Ranchers keeps me growing. Opportunities and memories made through the FFA do not end with graduation. The next level is there, waiting for you to take advantage of what it has to offer. Find out more on how you can keep growing in the world of agriculture and join the next level of leaders with the Georgia Farm Bureau's Young Farmers and Ranchers program at gfb.org.
Between the hedges and in the research labs of Bulldog Country, to the agriculture history and tradition with the stallions in Tifton, Georgia Young Farmers and Ranchers are at every state college and university. No matter your passion and your interest, Georgia Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers has something for you. From industry meetings and farm tours to competitions and scholarships, it pays to be a member of Georgia Young Farmers and Ranchers. Today, Georgia Farm Bureau is giving away 100 free memberships to FFA members and guests 18 years and older. Join me in celebrating an organization that realizes the importance of our future. Visit the link on the screen to join. Georgia Young Farmers and Ranchers, cultivating leaders to grow in Georgia.
Good morning, Georgia FFA. My name is Logan Williams, and I am proudly representing the Newton College and Career Academy FFA chapter. Get on your feet and help me in introducing your 2018-2019 Georgia FFA State Officer Team.
We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. It doesn't matter if the world is gone mad, if we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. The sky is falling and the world is gone mad, and we sing our songs and we just hold on, yeah. So if you're running, stop running. One life, one chance, start living. Sing it louder just to let the world know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the 6th general session of the 91st Georgia FFA Convention. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the states of Alaska to the Virgin Islands, from the states of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The Secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The Advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is the symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is the token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
I am pleased to announce that there are 5,923 members, advisors, and guests registered at the 91st Georgia FFA Convention, Mr. President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this 6th General Session of the 91st Georgia FFA Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matter which should properly be presented. The chair of Session 6 is up to date on all the latest pop culture and can sing word for word any hip-hop song you name. He's a knack for being able to do complex math in his head and can remember the names of everyone he meets. He is currently wrapping up his freshman year at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, where he is majoring in Ag Ed. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Central Region State Vice President from the Veterans FFA Chapter, Thomas Maddox.
Good morning, Georgia FFA. I am so excited to be here this morning, and I hope you are too. People always ask me, Thomas, how do you have so much energy in the mornings? Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. I run a marathon to start each day. There is nothing that gets me more excited and awake in the mornings than waking up and running to start each day. No, not the typical 26.2 miles of running, but I sure have to be speeding in the morning if I want to be able to jam out to at least 5 of my favorite songs, make the perfect French vanilla coffee, and even hit the whoa at least once. Now, when we are looking at these things, it's kind of like, that's not so epic, Thomas. How is that a marathon? But in this morning's session, we are running a marathon of a lifetime. Over 5,000 Georgia FFA members are at the starting line and looking forward to the race ahead. Over today's course, we will see those reach a personal record by receiving their state FFA degree, witness some amazing Georgia FFA talent, hear from those that make sure that our race can continue on, the Georgia FFA alumni, and hear the retiring address of our Disney-loving South Region State Vice President, Miss Emily Leonard. The 6th General Session of the 91st Georgia FFA State Convention is sponsored by the Georgia Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Program. Throughout this session, you'll get to hear some information about the Young Farmers and Ranchers Program, see some familiar faces from Farm Bureau, and experience how you can stay involved in agriculture after hanging up your blue jacket. In this morning's session, 762 FFA members will be receiving their state FFA degree. The Georgia Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Program is excited to help us recognize those members who have invested in agriculture to earn this prestigious award. If you had any friends or folks who were not able to join us on our run this morning, make sure to tell them to log into georgiaffa.org so they don't miss any twist and turn of this race. Also, when you don't want to miss any twist and turn of yourself, make sure you have the convention mobile app downloaded so this can stay updated. Also, when you post on social media, make sure you use the hashtag GAFFA2019. So do your stretches and pack your water bottles as we head into the 6th general session of the 91st Georgia FFA State Convention. Ready, set,
Between the
go.
hedges and in the research labs of Bulldog Country, to the agriculture history and tradition with the stallions in Tipton, Georgia young farmers and ranchers are at every state college and university. No matter your passion and your interest, Georgia Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers has something for you. From industry meetings and farm tours to competitions and scholarships, it pays to be a member of Georgia Young Farmers and Ranchers. Today, Georgia Farm Bureau is giving away 100 free memberships to FFA members and guests 18 years and older. Join me in celebrating an organization that realizes the importance of our future. Visit the link on the screen to join. Georgia Young Farmers and Ranchers, cultivating leaders to grow in Georgia.
Part of every marathon is making sure that the marathon course is in its best condition. Earlier this week, we had some awesome Georgia FFA members who went into the local Macon community to make sure that our marathon course was ready to go. They went to neighboring parks and picked up trash, to painting homes for local citizens of Macon. FFA members put in a lot of work of saying thank you for being the perfect location of our race. When these members went out into their local communities, they put in a lot of community service. Community service is a great example of the last line of our motto, living to serve. FFA members, put your hands together for those who were involved in our days of service. Many of us here in our coveted blue corduroy devoted our time to the convention food drive. Over 10,500 cans were collected and donated to local food banks all throughout the state of Georgia. 817 FFA members served with rebuilding Macon by painting homes and assisting with necessary maintenance in the neighborhoods surrounding the Macon Centerplex. Thank you to all who were involved in this days of community service. You sure taught us how it takes just one opportunity to make an impact on others. Your commitment to make this impact will leave a lasting legacy for decades to come. When running a marathon, we kind of need a little push sometimes to be able to finish that race. This can be someone holding up a very cheesy poster or someone handing us a cup of water at the top of a really hard hill. Without these supporters, our race would not be possible, just like our next speaker. Only active FFA members get to wear the coveted blue corduroy jacket. But your love and passion for agriculture doesn't have to stop once you hang up your blue jacket one last time. Our Georgia FFA alumni continue to show their passion for agriculture and invest in our future. They are a great asset to our organization, and they make sure that our program continues to fly strong. When they invest in our future, they are making sure that we have the financial support for our FFA Quiz CDE, WLC scholarships, provide judges and supplies for our CDEs, and be able to host our awesome state convention. This morning, we are very grateful to have a friend of the Georgia FFA Alumni Council to bring greetings on behalf of them. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Georgia FFA Alumni Association President, Mr. Norman Gay.
Good morning. On behalf of the over 32,000 FFA alumni members in Georgia, thank you for letting us to come and participate in your convention today. The first thing that we want to do today is Each year we present the retiring state FFA officers with their alumni jackets. We want to go ahead and get that out of the way so they can go back and do their other duties while I make a few remarks after that. So if you will, officers, please present the retiring FFA officers with their jackets. For those of you that might not have seen this, you'll see these jackets again later this afternoon as they retire. They will be taking off their FFA jackets and putting on the alumni jackets. Thank you, state officers, for your service, and we'll see you this afternoon. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Mr. Gay, thank you for all the work that you have done as president this past year and for serving for the 43,000 Georgia FFA members. All the work that you and the Alumni Council have done for our Georgia FFA members is very grateful. Thank you so much for your appreciation. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. We didn't read the script this morning, but we're going to make it through anyway. Thank you so much. The next thing I would like to do is to introduce the FFA Alumni Council members to you. Our President-elect, Greg Long. Our past President, Jim East. Then we have from the North Region, Sue Smith, Charlotte Gilman. From the Central Region, Billy Lumley, Johnny Jones. South Region, Greg Mims, and Carly Hitchcock. Let me tell you, working with this group has sure made my year a lot easier when you've got people that will step up to the plate and do what they've done. And I would like to remind you just of a few of the things that we do as the as the state FFA alumni in helping raise money and helping raise funds for the activities that you participate in. All the money that we raise goes back to the FFA. We don't have anything that we do on our own outside of the FFA activities, but every dollar that we raise goes back to the FFA. We work hand in hand with the foundation. We participate at the Blue and Gold Gala. We participate and help sponsor the FFA Day at the Capitol. We are a 4-star sponsor of the State FFA Convention. So I'm telling you that just to remind particularly you teachers and you parents and the friends of the FFA that we help make this convention a little bit more affordable for what you do. And we would love for you to have an FFA alumni chapter in your local community and help raise funds on the local level, because that's the main responsibility that we have, is to help raise funds for the activities of the FFA. And we have had a very successful convention here this week. We've raised over $5,700 with our silent auction. And thanks to you, students, parents, teachers, and members, that's over twice as much money as that we've ever raised before. And we want to thank you for the help that you have presented to us. Now, again, to show you what we do with some of our money, those of you that have been down in the area where our silent auction was at, we have 2 contests down there with the baskets. We have an FFA alumni basket contest, and we also have an FFA basket contest. And each one of those winners receives $500. So we presented those at our business meeting yesterday. But we've got one other event that we also give $500 to, and I want to ask them to come out on the stage as I explain this a little bit. And this is our food drive that we have every year. When we first started this food drive, we had the chapters to bring the items here to the convention, and they were distributed to the local food banks here in Macon. But somebody came up with a better idea than that, and now you can participate in this food drive in your local community. All that we ask you to do is to certify that what you have and how many you have brought, and just bring the paperwork to us instead of trying to lug all those cans here. But I'm going to ask the West Jackson Middle FFA if they will come out, and I would like to present to them their certificate for winning this contest and a check for $500. So this is just some of the ways that we give back to the FFA, and again, that's what we're here for. We're your partners. If we can help you in any way, just let us know. Most of us will be around the rest of the day, but if not, we'll see you in your local community. Congratulations on a wonderful state convention that you're having. Thank you so much.
Once again, thank you, Mr. Gay, for all the support that you have done for our 43,000 Georgia FFA members, along with the Georgia FFA Alumni Council. Your support and work as president continues to shine throughout our organization. Thank you so much, and please take this gift as a token of appreciation.
Thank you very much.
The world record time for a marathon is 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 57 seconds. This is a pretty impressive time. To be able to run this time, it takes a lot of practice, some dedication, and a lot of talent. This next individual may not be prepared to break that record here today, but let's give this individual a big round of applause and give them the world record for the most cheers in a given moment. Give it up for some Georgia FFA talent.
Hi, my name is Hallie Dixon, and I am proudly representing the Wayne County FFA chapter. Almost heaven, West Virginia, the Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountains, rolling like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Around her, miner's lady, into dark water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning hour. She calls me, to my home far away. And driving down that road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, in West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home, down country roads, oh take me home, down country roads.
Good morning, Georgia FFA. My name is Courtney Conine.
And my name is Logan Moore.
Your next speaker is someone that I haven't known all that long, but have come to love over the past 10 months and can now call one of my best friends. Being roommates with her has shown me that she not only bleeds blue and gold, but has a true passion for agriculture, youth, and making impacts on the lives of others.
Getting to know this person, it is obvious that the FFA has had a major impact over her life. She is never afraid to lend a helping hand, always there to brighten your day when you need it the most, and always leaves you with a smile on your face.
Taking on the University of Georgia with her has been an adventure. From traveling across the state to watch our friends show their livestock, and staying up all night every night to sing Disney show tunes and laugh at funny tweets and memes,
to cheering on the dogs from between the hedges and taking random late-night car rides to pick up a midnight snack, there is never a dull moment when it comes to life with your next speaker.
To know her is to love her.
To get to know her is to have a lifelong friend.
Here, with her retiring address entitled From Now On,
it is our honor to introduce your 2018-2019 South Region State Vice President,
my roommate,
and one of my best friends,
Emily Leonard.
There I was, in the freezing cold, on top of a mountain in Colorado. There was more snow than I had ever seen before, especially being a girl from South Georgia. I looked across the white mountains and smiled because I knew that I was on an adventure that day. You see, my mom had surprised me with plane tickets to the Rocky Mountains for Christmas, and I had never been west of Louisiana before. So there we were, together in 4-degree weather, shivering and jumping up and down to stay warm on an adventure. Now this adventure wasn't over yet, because although we had made it to the top of the mountain, we somehow had to get back down without causing an avalanche or running off the icy roads. As my mom and I finished taking our super basic tourist pictures and headed back to the car, she asked me to pull up the directions to get back down the mountain. As I looked down at my phone, I noticed an alternate route that took us through the rest of the Continental Divide. I smiled and gave my mom a look that let her know that I was up to something. I sweetly said, "Mom, can we try this way down the mountain?" She rolled her eyes and laughed. Of course, it's impossible to say no to this sweet face. So there we went, trying our best to stay focused on the road while looking at the beautiful Rockies before us. My mom and I decided to take a chance and try something new that day. Sure, it was scary to go somewhere we had never gone before, but we didn't let our fear of the unknown stop us from finding joy. FFA members, how will you choose to find joy on the adventures that you go on in your life? I was thinking to myself, all right, Emily, from now on, you're not going to be cold. From now on, you're also going to stop talking to yourself, because when you do that, you make weird facial expressions and it's kind of creepy, so just shut up and enjoy the view. And from that moment on, we chose to find our joy through embracing a new experience. From now on, choose to embrace new experiences in search of finding your joy. Oftentimes, on our pursuit of joy, we will find our paths redirected, and sometimes find ourselves disappointed because our path didn't end up where we thought it would. One of the most influential people in my life, Miss Erna Hardiman Corbett, found her life's path redirected to somewhere I'm sure she was never expecting. When she was 7 years old, her parents made the decision to move themselves along with all 15 of their children across the Atlantic Ocean to seek a better life. After arriving in their new home, Erna struggled with fitting in and did her best to learn the English language, which was nothing like her native tongue of Dutch. As she grew older, Erna learned a new way of life and began to work in the tobacco fields during the summer to help support her family, who struggled with making ends meet. But even when her fingers bled, she kept a smile on her face because she knew that there was a greater purpose for her life. She found love along the way and made the big decision to leave her family and move to South Georgia to begin a new marriage to a farmer. Erna did not choose the circumstances of her life, but she did choose to find joy instead of allowing doubt and disappointment to consume her thoughts. She worked hard to become the first in her family to be a registered nurse and used her skills to bring healing and joy to everyone she met. Erna, better known to me as Grandma, actively sought joy when her life changed. It is up to us to choose to pursue a joyful life, no matter the circumstances that we find ourselves in. When life seems overwhelming, when we have 3 tests to study for, 2 CDEs to compete in, a livestock project to care for, and we can't possibly imagine how we're going to manage to get everything done, it can be easy to let our stress consume us. Take a breath and remember that you have the power to decide whether or not you will allow this to burden you. Use those hard moments to remember that you are on this earth for a reason. And FFA members, you have a greater purpose for your life. Don't allow yourself to doubt your capabilities, for there is a method to all of this madness that you are dealing with. During those tough times, it will be hard to see, don't get me wrong. But we can choose to allow those hard moments to shape us into the leaders that we were meant to be. From now on, choose to pursue your purpose. When I was in high school, I found someone who found their purpose in one of the most unlikely of places. Have you ever made one of those friends that would end up becoming what I like to call your person? Well, in 2016, I made one of those friends. Taylor Macera walked into my high school and changed my life forever. You see, Taylor was just starting her sophomore year at a new school, and for some wild reason, we became best pals. She was super athletic, unlike me, and she also became really involved in our FFA chapter. But as I got to know Taylor, I found that she had been dealing with some kind of sickness that no doctors had been able to diagnose since 2012. After 255 needle sticks, 70 IVs, 181 missed days of school, 95 physical therapy visits, and 6 different surgeries, my friend Taylor had been diagnosed with 7 new medical conclusions. To name a few, she deals with gastroparesis, celiac disease, Neurobeck's disease, and small intestine bacterial overgrowth. Taylor dealt with some pretty tough stuff, from having to be given nutrition out of a bag attached to her arm, dealing with paralysis of the stomach, and even losing her sight for a period of time. But when I asked Taylor if she would ever take back the journey that she had been on, she told me, "Through this journey, Emily, I have learned that everyone goes through something, and each story is to be used to minister to others. For some reason, Jesus thought that I was strong enough to move these mountains." Taylor's story inspires me each and every day. FFA members, sometimes we go through journeys that we do not understand, and it can be easy to let our negative thoughts keep us from being a light to others in this dark world. These journeys may not even be medical. Maybe our parents just got a nasty divorce and we feel as though we'll never be able to achieve success because those who come from broken homes don't compare to those who come from happy lives. Or maybe we're struggling with anxiety and depression and are holding on to the fears of this world. FFA members, trust me when I tell you that I have been there, and I had to find my joy through giving my anxiety and depression to the one that I knew could set me free. No, you may not come from a picture-perfect background, and you may not know what your future will hold. But from now on, we can choose to live a new life if we choose to be brave. Taylor's story tells me that from now on, I will choose to be brave. But FFA members, will you? Just like that moment when my mom and I decided to take a new road on that mountain, we can choose to take a new road in this life, one filled with filling others' lives with joy. Just like when my grandma decided to use the testimony that she had been given. Members, I challenge you to use the trials and the tribulations that you have been through to inspire others who need positivity, just like my friend Taylor did. Georgia FFA, thank you for allowing me the honor of being on this state officer team for the past year and for giving me an opportunity to serve. From now on, choose to be fearless in your pursuit of finding joy. From now on, choose to find your purpose and use it to change the lives of those you meet in this life. From now on, choose to learn from each season of life that you are in. Let this be the moment that you change your life for the better. Seek adventure, pursue joy, radiate positivity, and do it from now on.
We're still undefeated.
Oh, Emily, you are the queen of memes, Spotify playlists, and sarcasm. Thank you for reminding us that there is no growth in a comfort zone and no comfort in a growth zone. Your love for Georgia FFA and the Georgia Bulldogs shines wherever you go. You are precious. You have made all of our hearts so full this past year. Love always, Clay, Bryce, Doster, Brittany, Ava Jane, Dawson, and Thomas. Georgia FFA, your 2018-2019 South Region State Vice President, Miss Emily Leonard. To be able to run a marathon, it takes endurance, a good work ethic, and a lot of responsibility. These next group of students may not have trained a lot for a marathon, but they have worked tirelessly, not only by their work in the classroom, but through their supervised agricultural experience program so that it can reach its maximum potential. Students have opened up to future careers. They have secured jobs, and they have helped feed all of us along the way. These members deserve a hard-earned prize for all that they have done through the Blue Jacket. We have the prize, Gold State FFA Degree, to award to these individuals. Today, we will recognize 762 Georgia FFA members who have earned and invested at least $1,000 or worked 300 hours through a supervised agricultural experience to earn the most prestigious of our state association, the State FFA Degree. Throughout the years in the FFA, they have maintained records. They have managed their finances and devoted themselves to improving their SAE projects. The students who are receiving this award here today have focused on their area of interest and have overcome any obstacle that has arisen in their path. All of their work has led to this very moment, earning their State FFA Degree. For this ceremony, please welcome back to the stage State FFA President Bryce Rowland.
We shall proceed with the degree ceremony. Mr. Secretary, what have you to report concerning candidates eligible for this degree?
I am pleased to submit the names of 762 candidates who have been selected by the State Executive Committee to receive the State FFA Degree.
Our Constitution sets up minimum qualifications which must be met before candidates are eligible for election to this degree. Mr. Advisor, have you carefully examined and reviewed the records of these candidates?
I have, Mr. President, and have found all candidates fully qualified.
We will now proceed to raise these members to the State FFA degree. Will the candidates please rise?
The State FFA degree is the highest degree our state association can bestow. Some of you will one day earn the coveted golden key of the American FFA degree. We urge you to maintain throughout your adult lives the same enthusiasm and dedication that you bring to today's ceremony.
It is an honor to be nominated for the State FFA degree. It is still a greater honor to be selected for this degree by your fellow members of the Georgia FFA Association.
Your new achievement brings you greater honors as well as additional responsibilities. You have widened the field of your service in the strengthening of agriculture, the most basic industry of our nation.
You have been urged to advance toward new and higher degrees in the FFA. We commend you for your accomplishments and encourage you to work toward new and higher goals in our organization and in your chosen occupation.
In meeting the requirements of the Green Hand and Chapter FFA degree, you were told that the golden charm of the State FFA degree awaited you. The bronze emblem of the Green Hand gave way to the silver emblem of the Chapter FFA degree, which now has evolved into that golden charm. This is symbolic of the growth and development in your chosen occupation. May the permanence of the rare and golden qualities of the emblem be a constant reminder of the strength of your education and the worthiness of your achievements. Therefore, on behalf of the Georgia FFA Association, I now confer upon you the State FFA degree with all of its honors and privileges, and present you this charm, the emblem of the degree. Please be seated until your row is escorted backstage. As we set the stage for the State FFA degree ceremony, please welcome more outstanding Georgia FFA talent.
It is a pleasure to introduce our 2019 State FFA Degree recipients. From the South region, Hannah Corson, Sydney Steverson, Harrison Hughes, Andrew Davis, Faith Taunton, Logan Grubbs, Gracie Elaine Lovett, Logan Michelle Seagroves, Aubrey Hughes, Caleb L. Bell, Brantley Sumner Edeline, Mitchell Allen Callum, Hayden Michael Woody, Carson Johnson, Thomas Dylan Trevino, Colin Curry, Garrett Johnson, Joseph Charles Roslin, John David Finkenin, Diabeen Patel, Dayton Pass, Valerie Martinez, Jason Fatigue, Reagan Alonzo, Patrick Edwards, Kaylee Deal, Thomas Day, Madison Burris, Logan Lynn Gowan, Colby Nolan Flowers, Maddie Ann Davis, Travis James Rainey, Jaron Addison Thrift, Grace Ann Gill, Thomas Jones, Aaron Alyssa Pierce, Ian Bant, Kirsten Smith, Elizabeth Raver, Kira Meeborn, Jordan Hurtley, Becca Jordan, William Hickman, Haley Houston, Nia Clark, Victoria Call, Harley Blake, Jesselyn Bennett, Chloe Elizabeth Rivaldo, Chloe Elizabeth Rivaldo, Austin Lee Rayleigh, Jacob Stalvey, Bryce Lee, Oraldo Asperdi, Curtis Lee, Olivia Hope Thomas, Michael Dalton McKinnon, Ashley Lynn Clement, Elizabeth Cruz, Emma Kate Tillman, Leanna Faith Atkinson, Mackenzie Blair, Josie Brightwell, Peyton Donaldson, John Vance Livingston, Jordan Maurice Barfield, Tristan Gregory, Tynesha Cumbry Howard, Caleb Spradlin, Charlie J. Collins, Amber Murphy, Jake Trevor Simmons, Lindsay Nicole Hall, Hallie Lakin Walker, Caitlin Elizabeth Hart, Garrett Keith Griner, Mitchell Scott Riley, Callie Wheeler, Barrett Breeden, Wade Howell, Chloe Sexton, Ricky Lee Mitchell, Molly Hannes Mathis, Devin Lee Hayslip, Connor Butterworth, Jacob Alexander Sumner, Alexander Ross Kelly, Kayla Day Stevens, Tyner Kilgore, Alex Warr, Lindsay Herring, Emily E. Culpepper, Tristan Carter, Rachel Rose Coleman, Brooke D. Culpepper, Humberto Anti Verso, Laurel M. Mallette, Taylor M. Merced, Shelby L. Henderson, Justin T. Sandlin, Hannah Daniels, Cole Carver, Carson Smith, Caitlin Vickers, Hunter Pitts, Dakota Grace Flaxton, Zach Ursey, Hunter Miller, Blake Adams, Whitley Williams, Ty Paget, Trevor Spikes, Grant Wilcox, Michael Harper, Lawton Scott Lyons, Trey Strickland, Catherine Lorraine Peppers, Caroline Reichert, Shadesha Smith, Claire Howard, Colton Peacock, Ridge Pitts, Casey Strickland, Christina Stone, Zachary Lee Gay, Elizabeth May Fisher, Dawson Thomas Peak, Gabriella Nicole Darty, Cedric Leonard Montgomery, Emily Nicole Stone, Stanley Rush, Brooks Daniel Watson, Jarnay Danielle McKinney, Destiny Cunningham, Brooklyn Bland, Aaron Lanier, Hayden Maxwell, Jimmy Weeks, Annabelle Gowan, Kristen Danielle Palmer, Clifton Dean Edwards, Michael Durden Martin, Catherine Violet Smith, Wesley Drew Harden, Ella Griner, Jackson Howard, Saran Kicklighter, Millie Holt, Macy Williams, Mary King, Ramsey Williams, Macy Tab, Shelby Godby, Ellie Smith, Takia Anise Marshall,
Got it.
Allison Myrick, Hannah Moser, Ashlyn Stewart, Aubrey Kathleen Palmer, Jonathan Blaine Pascal, Lindsay Ray Daniel, Charleston Rhett Bozeman, Samuel Edward Chambers, Samuel G. Hudson, Savannah Humphreys, Lauren Rayana Lindsay, Brady Wade Marchant, Annie Macedo, Carter Ann McKee, Aubrey Lee Michael, Kaylin Ann Morgan. Madison Elise Orozco. Deanna Nicole Parton. Walter Saunders. Charlotte A. Starr. Noah L. Stevens. Rachel Lee Whidden. Kenneth S. Jones. Rebecca Lloyd Daniel. Alexis Marie Cafferty. Ivy Elaine Cook. Samuel Ethan Hester. Colton Thomas Stone. Kaylee Nicole Roberts. Mary Claire Payne. Caitlin Watson. Mackenzie Grantham. Colton Tyre. Chastity Whitley. Hunter Steele Waters. Grace Tanner. Andrew Gordon Aspinwall. Emma Marie Rigdon. Walker Clayton Elliott. Maggie Grace Miller. Austin Chance Warren. Jack Richard Renee. Haley Reagan Dixon. Dylan Perry Dent. Courtney Grace Williams. John Dalton Beasley. Caleb Edward Jackson. Samuel Reed Smith. Bailey Rihanna Clemens. Jesse Dakota Barksdale. Luke Gwynns. Nick Dees. From the Central Region, Carly Peavy. Courtney Turner. Elizabeth Parks. Emmy Coleman. John Michael Teagle. Louis Lumley. Lily Jenkins. Nicholas Chapman. Brianna Jenkins. Abigail Claxton. Grace Newman. Jesse Lynn Strickland. Joseph Steinsifer. Timothy Taylor. Emily Rowlett. Austin Parker. Yuki Smith. Cole Spires. Audrey Dyer. Shelly Trejo. Sailor Jackson. Elizabeth Larson. James Wilson. Garrett Wiggins, Savannah Hockenberry, Heath Sanders, Lucy Cranford, Alexis Farmer, Cleto Lerma, Martavis Stevens, Antonio Shamar Moore, May Pan, Lauren Moyer, Vivian Taylor, Colton Carnes, Kendall Graham, Lauren Wheeler, Spencer Coy, Julia Bowman, Lauren Sharon, Brianna Johnson, Alyssa Christine Almagati, Anna Fulcher, Elizabeth Page Owens, Eric Bernard Robinson, Julia French, Nicholas Hodges, Paige Gannan, Sam Hodges, Traven Alexander Moore, Will Gilmore, Dylan Ash, Jeremiah Romero, Kevin West, Hunter Johnson, Kelly Hobbs, Cody Braylon, Bailey Tracy, Jesse Martin, Kayla Stiles, Mallory Parrott, Rachel Barnett, Taylor Scarborough, Brianna Desiano, Jordy Hernandez, Aubriana Day, Avery Barnes, Colin McKay, Dallas Hand, Sean Dyer, Davis Lee Brantley, Morgan Bedichek, Raynon Fernando Ario, Vanessa Lauren Howard, Alden Burke, Grace Thomas, Emily Hines, Alexis Gibson, Danielle Corbin, Jasmine Nicole Gordon. Milagro Rand. Julian Rubenstein. Caitlin Pope. Alex Bowman. Rachel Dorsey. Morgan Patterson. Bailey Roser. Janico. Christilly Wood. Kayla McNeely. Efran Martinez. Caitlin Dietweiler. Chapman Phillips. Lily Norris. Emily Wilkinson. Victoria Lavender. Maggie Carson. Abby Womble. Ashton Sindrick. Justin Chappell. Mackenzie Waldrop. Mizaya Blackmanor. Wesley Kuhn. Lucia Sorrell. Ryan House. Andrew Craig. Autumn Daniels. Carol Ann Funkhausner. Kobe Easton. Daisy Lumpkin. Megan Biddle. Faith Preston. Prentice Hudson. Sarah Meggs. Timothy Dixon. Zachariah Banks. Heather Odell. Jessica Hamcock. Nicholas Duncan. Anna Hightower. Austin Wiggins. Kristen Snyder. Sarah Kimsey. Joseph Head. Dalton Mihalik. Abigail Zerwig. Brent Houston Helms. Darby Cannell. George Arnstall. Caleb Brooke Waters. Mary Elizabeth Fulmer. Stella Elaine Fulford. Diamond Juwana Wimple. Ashley Freeman. Cheyenne Saki. William Otis. Caitlin Powell, Kylie Bilata, Madison Whaley, John Kennis, Anna Murphy, Tiffany Peterman, Evan Remedio, Mallory Lee, Dorothy Paschal, William Garbett, Jacob Spivey, Mary Grace Neal, Caden Clark, Maddie Hendricks, Callie Dofran, Madison Dyscar, Mackenzie Higgins, Marvick Smith, Meredith Camp, Brooks Sharp, Avery Thompson, Madison Williams, Madeline Johnson, Raven Tankerslev, Elena Ranford, Alexis Agni, Carrie Magny, Heidi Saar, James Roberts, Shamar Mahone, Harley Scott, Mackenzie Jones, Ariel Destiny Lawson, Austin Wilson, Michaela Leverett, Paige Razor, Alexis Wilson, Faith Harbuck, Anna Dew, Joseph Clark, Casey Cooper, Caroline Burke, Lane Douglas, Walker Reynolds, Alexis Kopp, Dalton Brewster, Garrett Connor Collins, Caitlin Davis, Matthew Nees, Morgan Milbrant, Bailey Schumann, Briley Ritchie, Emily Godby, Jared Horton, Sarah Grace Hunter, Tyler Hunter, William Adams, Destin Ellison, Ayana Howard Carswell, Megan Satterfield. Trey Chapman. Ray Braswell. Corey Wilkerson. Wyatt Von Bargen. Mitchell Bodley. Addison McCord. Anna Lorraine Wallace. Erica Michelle Lewis. Austin Adams. Clayton Creamer. Andrew Bridges. Bradley Pope. Haley Stevens. Carson Walraven. Cheyenne Colley. Sarah Batchelor. Samantha Barthomel. Carrington Stevenson. Cayman Harris. Alyssa May. Morgan Morris. Avery Cook. Cameron Harris Trice. Mary Catherine Barfield. Gabe Roberts. Darby Masters. Brian Gray. Matthew Osborne. Madison Bussell. Logan Mason. Tristan French. Hannah Siggs. Cassidy Horton. William Wood. Pablo Castillo. Katia Diaz Avlia. Angela Miller. Robert Hall. Michaela Chambers. Kayla Yates. Gracie Drew Johnson. Jarrett Jackson. Rachel Ann Perry. Abigail Chambers. Landon Adams. Callie Anderson. Madison Caldwell. Dalton George. From the North region, Andrew Trenton Newberry. Angelina Coglanese. Mason C. Garrett. Hannah Payne. Timiana Partey. Megan Grace Parks. Allison Paige Shore. Ethan Harrison. Isaiah Teasley. Nick Hopper. Braxton Daniel Jarrett. Amos Cade Rogers. Caitlin Virginia Burrell. Jake William Sanders. Rip Young Sanders. Shelby Lynn Dalton. Journey Turner. Zeb Hand. Stephen Zegrit. Brady Carney. Dawson Mashburn. Trip Hoblitzel. Lucy Robbie. Kaylee Doyle. Cameron DePasquale Lee. Robert Farrell. Josh Dover. Zeta Amanya. Blake Gresham. Trenton Garner. Chloe Sproul. Ryan Booth. Karis Askin. Jasmine Coppernoll. Joseph Higgins. Mia Kreider. Hamilton Ratliff. Haley Howington. Catherine Villatoro. Addie Bridges. Jordan Butler. Carlos Garcia. Madison Kinsey Locke. Evan Thomas Lewis. Caleb Klein. Veronica Fisher. Alyssa Foster. Emily Adler. Michaela Yarrell. Jaden Andriel Williams. Taj Blackwell. Sherry Trincarton. Matthew McClure. Tara Ridley. Brian Rowell. Luke Wilkie. Lexis Marie Kimbrell. Caitlin Chilton. Wesley Samples. Josiah Irvin. Lauren Fowler. Bailey Brown. Logan Mass. Presley Bower. Caitlin Connerly. Cade Mitchum. Maylee Ruff. Abigail Lynn McDowell. Amber Martinez. Haley Billings Relief. Kayla Wace, Tyler Jones, Haley Denise Mueller, Andrew Douglas Bourne, Jacob Abercrombie, Cody Deals, Carson W. Kirby, Victoria J. Wright, Madeline Hodges, Blake A. Earls, Isabella Ray Payne, Brayley E. Seagraves, Roman Mackey Recco, Taylor Marson, Joseph Mitchell, Maggie Rothwell, Luke C. Roan, Matthew D. Loam, Aubriana Collum, Samantha Dillard, Mary Keener, Bryson Smith, Colin Hildenbrock, Lacey Hickman, Savannah Duval, Latravius Ramon Miller, Abby Davis, Osterworthy, Addison Birkenshire, Hunter Lane McKellen, Wyatt Turner, Lily Goodenough, Avery Mason, Kyle Rinaldi, AJ Caudell, Kristen Lee Harris, Brianna Martin, Allison Bridges, Hannah Lee Cole, Camden Coffin, Christopher Dylan Trotter, Rebecca Stewart, Brianna Bellinger, Madison Haley Johnson, Sarah Nicole Levain, Taylor Dyer, Barbara Leanna Green, Joanna Brian Hanshaw, Noel A. Plunkett, Clayton Bean, Cody Shaddles, Haley Pose, Savannah Prather, Maverick Martin, TJ Torrance, Seth Bowling, Katie Lee, Rhett Jackson, Madison Poe, Samantha Ayubra, Devin Clark, Jenna Sweatmoth, Preston Nave, Sonora Wilkes, Daphne K. Burgess, Jeslyn Pearl Thornburg, Tyler Williamson, Cameron Hoyt, Zachary Bowen, Victoria Kaylee Braswell, Rachel Pratt, Michaela Anderson, Madison Temple, Corey Yarbrough, Emma Kate Huff, Bradley Dixon, Michaela Clark, Callie Nicole Ollis, Luke Perdue, Cody Coyle, Kylie Faith Whitworth, Travis James Wilkinson, Levi Bruisman, Will Woodard, Jake Ferguson, Dylan New, Isabella Marlowe, Tyler Donovan Humphreys, Caleb Myatt, Jordan Swanson, Jaden Kelly, Caleb Den, Elisha Emmanuel Graves, Randy Hayes, Mason Sheffield, Tanner Copeland, Emily Estrella Romero, Josie Kayla Hess, Oscar Resendez, Alexis Parson, Anna Marie Stovall, Nicholas Hendricks, Abigail Ryder, Joyce Crow, Buck Ralston, Hunter Klein, Shayla Beard, Caitlin Wilkes, Emma Newberry, Ashley Serena Lang, Gleda Elizabeth Renee Appelt, Cade Allen Legg, Katie Ogle, Gabrielle Arlene Scruggs, Audrey Louise Faxton, Ronnie Merle, Sagan Skinner, Laney Amos, Ethan Robershaw, Brianna Bisley, Elizabeth Jen Shropshire, Dakota Davis, Bailey Cordell, Hannah Jackson, Chase Keith White, Sarah Bromlett, Bailey Grace Moore, Courtney Frances Jordan, Taylor Ann Dobson, Cole Carpenter, Colin Welborn, Latoya Singer, Carson Smiling, Chasen Huggins, Sally Holt, Carolina Price, Dawson Thompson, Saria Guthrie, Carissa Griffin, Joanna Bowers, Sylvia Rouse, Callie Casey, Taylor Damon, Anna Carr, Macy LaChance, Saria Hobber, Lorianne Parker, Zachary David Sharpton, Gracie Sexton, Annalise Carr, Brooklyn Carr, Clyde Hogan Smith, Andrea Molana, Victor Munel Garcia, Coy Houston C, Amelie Hernandez, Joshua Gentry, Brianna Tackett, Lupita Melgoptera, Mary Alice Knight, Jared Sheriff, Emily Smith, Carter Ware, Tana Davis, Kenzie Lingerfelt, Jacob Crow, Haley Faith Timms, Savannah Lee Beck-Jordan, Stone Briscoe, Trevor Lane Bradley, Brianna Katie Hemphill, Sarah Ann Howard, Tanner Smith, Hannah Marie Von Hoff, Mason Deming, Isaac Smith, Hannah Goen, Riley Dollar, Alyssa Tedder, Katie Elizabeth Dose, Peyton H. Robinson, Jacob Scott Parton, Dustin Dockery, Holden Turner Thomas, Saria Brookmiller, Garrett Paul Morgan, Abby Grace Osborne, Andrew Neal Jones, Michaela Leanne Armour, Ethan Bright Blocker, Breland Danielle Westmoreland, Larson Hood, Tiffany Tyson, Destiny Gunn, Ariel Joe Lewis, Aaron O'Connor, Kayla Martinez Lopez, and finally, Derek Quillen Pearson.
Congratulations to each of our State FFA degree recipients, their advisors, and their families. We know that this accomplishment was years in the making, and today you have much to be proud of. We hope that you will continue your hard work in your SAE and one day achieve the American FFA degree. For 91 years, FFA members have been experiencing the power of just one. Just one opportunity, just one experience, just one moment has the power to change the entire course of our lives. Just one mission of premier leadership, personal growth, and career success fulfills just one vision of growing leaders, building communities, and strengthening agriculture. All it takes is just one step. All you need is just one you. Georgia FFA, see the power in just one. Mr. Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
Yes, I do. If you have lost any items, report to the Secretary Station at the conclusion of this session. Again, if you have lost any items, please report to the Secretary Station at the conclusion of this session. Also, in the seventh and final session, the delegate floor seating is reserved for chapter delegates only. Each chapter has 2 delegates.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should probably come before this session? We are about to adjourn this 6th general session of the 91st Georgia FFA Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. I now declare this session adjourned.
Today's the day we make a change. One risk is all it takes. With courage, drive, and ambition, we can achieve something great. Just one moment, one encounter, just one step to empower. Just one risk, just
Carson Smith, we have found your wallet. If a representative from Social Circle, Georgia will please come to the Secretary station, we have something for you.